We also have Sunil Bohra with us of Minda Industries. Let's also speak to him with the government tightening co-driver safety norms, among other things. Mr. Bohra, good morning. Good to have you with us. Now, particularly for the airbag manufacturing company, with these new norms that are going to be implemented starting April, what benefit do you foresee for the company? Most car variants sold in India are already equipped with dual airbags, I think over 85%.
You are right. So first of all, I would like to welcome the move which has been proposed by the government. We believe it was long overdue because the discussion for this has started a couple of years back. So as the safety of driver is important, equally is the safety of the co-passenger. And with this, both the front airbags, the safety of passengers definitely will get a bump up. And as you rightly mentioned that gradually over last few years, most of the vehicles have already adopted dual airbags, and in fact, it goes up to 7 and 8 airbags. But still, there are vehicles which are in A category primarily, which comes with a single driver airbag. So definitely, it will provide a small volume increase benefit to all the airbag manufacturers, because even the A segment cars now will need to have mandatory the passenger airbag also in the front seat, which was not there earlier. So overall, definitely it's a welcome move and definitely will boost up the demand for the sector.
Sure. And what has been the order inflow, let's say, over the last 3-4 months, and with targets getting firmed up as well now for the year ahead? What are you kind of looking at, the kind of visibility you've seen from clients?
So definitely things are much better than what they were earlier. You have no reason to complain. When we were there at the end of maybe the start of the resumption of unlock in May and June to where we are today, I think we are much better placed. We have seen some record volumes in previous months by some of the vehicle manufacturers, and that demand does get spill over to us and people like Minda. So definitely there has been month-on-month improvement, wherein October has seen a significant jump in volumes. November, December, we all know had a pack of days for holidays, be it the festive season of Diwali or be it the year-end Christmas week, which primarily goes into the annual maintenance. So things are definitely looking much better as we move into this Q4. January numbers are looking much better than what they were in December or what they were in last year. So overall, things definitely are looking much better than what they were. Yes, if we move forward, there are a lot of positive signs in the economy. We have seen the highest ever record collection from GST on 1.15 lakh crore. We all know about it. So there is definitely a circuitous impact is going to happen on the economy, which is definitely going to help the automobile sector. And automobile sector itself, we all know, is almost half of the manufacturing GDP. So once this sector bumps up, it has also an impact on the other sectors. So overall, we are cautiously optimistic. Yes, it's difficult to gauge what the demand is going to be because we are still not out of the woods. But thankfully, market has a momentum, and there is definitely a good future which is looking like. This quarter definitely is going to be better. But what henceforward, I think we have to wait and watch the outcome of the pandemic. As of now, the demand which we are seeing has been primarily because of 3-4 factors. One definitely on top of people's mind is safety. People do want to have their own mobility, if whatever they can afford, be it a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler. Then definitely, if you see last 2-3 years, there has been a lot of demand, which was maybe a holdback type of thing, because there was a BS4 to BS6 transition. There was a dilemma in people's mind whether to wait for EV or not. And there was a cost increases pressures in past. So there is a lot of demand which was there, which was not fructified. And we are seeing those demand coming into market. And we do believe that this momentum should continue moving in the future.
Sure. Sunil, we gather from our sources that Maruti perhaps is looking to ramp up their output and has asked all the vendors to be prepared for a 2 million production in 2021. Confirm to us if you've got any such intimation from them.
No, definitely. When we do our capacity planning, we do capacity planning for long term, because you can't just increase your capacity overnight or maybe 3 to 6 months. It takes some time. So when our key customer, as you mentioned, has moved to Gujarat, we were among the first ones to move to Gujarat. We have put up 5-6 manufacturing plants there. We might be putting one more plant in Gujarat. So we have been always bullish on the sector. We have been putting our money where the horses is. So from that perspective, I think we are ready with the capacity, the number which you spoke about, or maybe beyond in next coming years. So the capacity planning normally goes 2 years or 3 years in advance. And if the volumes are what you are talking, if they are true, I think we should be able to meet that demand. I won't like to comment on behalf of our customer, but if the numbers are around 2 million, I think we will be able to support those kind of numbers.
Sure. When it comes to demand of newer product lines, Sunil, alloy wheels, aluminum, die casting, sensors, ADAS, airbags, what is the potential that you see for these going forward in particular?
No, definitely. If you see all the segment which you have mentioned, there is a huge potential. Like if I take an example of alloy wheel, where we were 4 or 5 years back, when we have set up our manufacturing facility for a 4-wheel alloy wheel, the penetration for alloy wheel in India was like 13-14%, right? And in 4 years, it has now today moved from capacity of 13-14% to almost 30%. Now, if you see the global market penetration, it is almost 80-85%. When I see this number, this is basically the alloy wheel as part of the total vehicle, total wheels being consumed versus alloy or steel. So there is a huge potential. Even if market was not to grow, this segment will definitely grow from where we are, so maybe around 30% penetration to almost 80-85, where the global benchmark is. There is a huge room for growth in 4-wheel alloy wheel. If I see a 2-wheeler alloy wheel, where we are currently in the process of commissioning our new plant in Maharashtra, today we are importing almost 65% of our total consumption of 32 million alloy wheels a year. And even if post our commissioning of the capacity, the plant which we are currently putting in or commissioning, it will produce somewhere between 3.5 million to 4 million alloy wheel. But still, there is a huge potential for localization. Same if you go for sensor. Sensor again is a story which is import substitution. Now we are going from importing to a localization. So all these themes, maybe airbags, it has got a huge potential, as we just spoke about, maybe in A segment or B segment cars once that get mandatory. And it is not going to stop there. It is not about only 2 airbags, as you rightly mentioned. In the front end or high end cars, there are more than 2 airbags, goes up to 7 or 8. So there is a huge potential for growth. You talk about any other segment, you talk about lighting, maybe the LEDification of the lighting, it has got a huge potential. So all the sectors currently we are in, we are going to definitely see a huge momentum of growth, primarily driven by premiumization or that safety features, or maybe the looks and feel of the car. So the segments which we spoke about, be it ADAS or be it airbags, be it alloy wheels, be it sensors, all of these segments, primarily they are either in a localization story or they are driven by premiumization. So both these themes are going to play for a pretty long time.
All right, fair enough. So that's on a couple of the schemes as well. In terms of shipping containers, there's been a bit of a shortage, and that's caused as well a major disruption in the supply chain. Freight rates have increased, container rates have doubled. How has some of this impacted things, and do you expect any cost overruns?
Definitely, all these things do impact your financials, be it the shipping cost or be it the commodity price increase. But the business we are in, I think this is a normal cycle. You keep on seeing these cycles up and down, and we have to live with it. So what we do is we have our annual discussion with our customers, where we try and see how much costs can be shared, how much cost can be absorbed. And this, I think, is a continuous journey. So while there are challenges which we need to overcome and we are overcoming, our motto is always customer is supreme, and we make sure that we are able to supply the components, whatever customer demands, on time, online. And we never want that we to be a reason for any issue from the customer perspective. So we have a pretty strong supply chain management team who is 24/7 working on ensuring that all these bottlenecks which we just spoke about don't impact the business. Yes, it may have small short-term impact in terms of costs, which obviously everybody has to live with it, because again, every industry has its own cycle. So the commodity price increase or the shipping cost increase yes, they do impact, but I think we have to find ways to mitigate those cost increases somewhere else.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us this morning,
Thank
Mr. Bohra, for that conversation.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go across to Jayesh now for an analysis on some of the target upgrades and downgrades that came in December 2020. What's the key takeaway there, Jayesh?